Hello.
Race the Sun.
Let's play Race the Sun.
Race the Sun.
I didn't play this last time. So get towards the sunset and collect pickups and don't die, I think was the game.
Yeah, buddy.
Ooh.
Can you go up and down?
No.
Okay.
Well, you can jump, but
I don't think I have that ability at the moment.
if you get that power up.
Okay.
Well, if you see something green, pick it up.
Oh.
Well, balls.
Yeah, boy.
So, Cam,
Yes.
what is your favourite anime?
God, you know what? You'd think I'd have prepared since the last time you asked me this question.
Yeah. It's almost as if you knew what that would be.
Actually made a plan for once what we're going to talk about.
Shit. So this
What's
is
your
the
second
thing,
favourite
right?
anime?
Gundam?
I did pull up a list of all the animes that I have watched. However, I didn't realise how visually aware you have to be able to play this game. And there's a part of me that wants to be competitive and not lose, but there's a part of me that also, okay, I'm in a break period, it's fine, let's go.
That's no fun for me.
Oh, shit. I'm missing all of these.
Shit's moving.
So there's quite a few anime that I've like really enjoyed watching. There are like ones that I've cried at and stuff. There are,
Aw.
there are ones that I've laughed myself into tears at. And there are ones that I watch yearly. So like, have an annual rewatch of the Gundam Wing film at Christmas. Like,
Nice.
Is that like how I always watch Muppets Christmas Carol at Christmas? Because it is the greatest film ever.
Yeah, and it's a Christmas film, isn't it? Yeah, so like I do that with the Gundam Wing Endless Waltz movie because it happens
Is
at
it a Christmas episode?
It is, yeah. And it has one of my favourite quotes ever to come out of a TV show that I've ever watched, and it's this.
Okay,
little...
let me guess.
Okay.
Was it when the Gundam came to your village? It was the greatest moment, defining moment in your life. But for me, it was just a Thursday.
You know what? I wish it was because that would have.
And I know it's Tuesday.
That would have been fucking incredible if they pulled that out in the middle of that film. But no.
I think they should be in every single film.
It should be to be
Harry Met
honest.
Sally.
Bambi.
Die
Hard.
Castaway.
I just died hard.
Yeah. Harry Potter. Oh my god, Harry Potter. You could put that in each film. Every flavour of the week villain just, throws it in.
Or it could just be the same villain saying it all
the
every
time,
single
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we get it. We get it, Snape. For fuck's sake.
It's a bit of a giveaway.
Understand, okay. So,
I'm saying that he wasn't really the villain, was he?
no. So the quote in question is, and I might not get this 100% right. I should do because, like I said, it's one of my favourite quotes. And like, what's the point in saying that if you're not going to get it right?
I totally agree. Don't waste my time.
It is. History is like an endless waltz with the 3 beats of war, revolution, and peace following on from each other. God, I got chills saying it now. Like, I just love that quote. I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool, actually. But then it's in a Gundam film, and like, if you don't like mecha anime, you've been absolutely robbed of this quote. But yeah, I just like that. Oh shit, crash. I like the premise, and like, this is set by like a 12-year-old girl as well in the middle of this, who's just decided I'm going to declare war as the rightful ruler of Earth because fuck you.
How did she get to be the ruler of Earth at 12?
Her older brother.
Were there no other adults? Like, literally?
Well, see, okay, so the thing about Gundam Wing is it was a departure from Gundam, the original series, like Zeta, Double Z, and like 8th Mobile Suit Unit and all of that stuff, because it wasn't about you shouldn't have children in theatres of war, and like it's not about like how depressing and how ruthless war is and stuff like that. This was, let me have a harem of 5 cute anime boys piloting robots, and we'll give them some also really, good-looking villains that they clash ideologies with.
Now I'm interested.
One of them who is a blatant Char ripoff from the original Gundam series. And, that's what made it big in the West. And that's what made it the most popular Gundam among, the female demographic in the history of the show. Because it was just 5 objectively hot boys being, emotionally traumatized and fighting mech suits. There's a lot of drama in it. There was, a lot of school drama, because obviously...
Cam
mech
likes
suits.
the emotionally hot boys.
I also like the emotionally hot Gundam suits that they piloted as well, because they were pretty fucking cool. Not gonna lie. Wing Gundam, Death Scythe, and Epion are some of my favourite mobile suit designs ever. God, this is so nerdy.
No, keep going.
But, yeah, so...
Unlike me.
That was, and I think that was one of the first anime following on from Bebop and Dragon Ball Z that was on Cartoon Network's Adult Swim slot. So I used to stay up at night to be able to watch that show. And that was really, truly what sold me on anime, to be honest. I'd watch Dragon Ball Z, I'd watch some Pokemon and stuff like that. As a kid, because, why wouldn't you watch Yu-Gi-Oh! As well? But it was 5 buff boys beating up baddies in beautiful... I'm trying to get as many B's in as I can. Beautiful mechanized suits, It's just give me that, inject it into my veins. And I mean, it wasn't until later on that I started watching the, that I watched the original series and stuff. I was like, oh my god, this stuff is so depressing. Some of it is so dark. And, a kid gets headshotted by a laser, just hops over a wall, doesn't really know any better. You just see someone gets headshotted with a rocket launcher. The show's insane. The original show is actually nuts.
Can you get hot headshotted by a rocket launcher? Isn't that just an all-over body shot?
No, because it didn't explode when it hit her head. It exploded
Right
when it
in the
hit the
face.
back wall behind her. And that's facts. It was again beautifully animated scene. Probably where most of the budget for that episode went, to be perfectly honest with you. But yeah, it's just nuts. The original series has space Nazis.
As every good show should.
As every good show should.
Oh, they got to space, the bastards.
Nazis get everywhere.
And it does pick up on proper issues that
Like what?
you wouldn't expect a massive robot fighting anime to pick up on,
Yeah, I would. I was watching Robo Story last night, which is not an anime as far as I understand it. I think it's French.
Oh yeah.
From the
French anime.
From the 70s. It used to be on during the day when I was at school. If every time I had a day off school, Robo Story was on. And it's by today's standards quite poorly drawn.
What happens in that?
I was trying to catch up on it last night. All I remember is that the main character, as far as I was concerned, was a Darth Vader ripoff, who's he's got a white helmet. He's a little short fella, and he keeps being told he's the lowest of the low. And he may even be demoted at all times. He's middle management from so imagine Star Wars. Woo! And Darth Vader's the middle management guy, and you've got the Emperor who's I can demote you at any possible time. And I just watched, I think it was the first episode, and it's all about this alcoholic robo hobo, and how he gets sad and depressed. And I thought, yeah, it's not quite how I remember that series, but there you go. But I just remember really enjoying that when I come home from school. On when I was ill. Oh, I'm gonna die, and I'm dead. But yeah, I'd not watched a lot of anime other than I remember watching Fist of the North Star when I was a kid.
Yeah, great show.
And a few others which I don't remember the names of now. But
I've
not really followed anything in recent years.
That really led to just this whole explosion. And this is so boring. This led to this whole explosion in anime and manga of super ripped, buff body boys. It's why
There's a
Dragon
theme
Ball
here.
Z had
That's why you got
honestly.
into
Fist of the North Star was the first one of
He was pretty
people
ripped,
were
yeah.
oh my god, this guy's so masculine, and so.
Oh,
And so, yeah, it was, again, beautiful animated scene. Some of it is so boring. This led to this whole explosion in anime and manga of super ripped, buff body boys. It's why Dragon Ball Z had this why Fist of the North Star was the first one of People were like, oh my god, this guy's so masculine. And so It's the first thing that like people properly got behind, you know. And then it was like you look at loads of manga from before Fist of the North Star came out, and you look at it after Fist of the North Star came out, and you can just see the influence that it being popular had on like all of these other manga. It's really cool. Really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, John, what was the show that got you into anime? Because I know you asked me about my favourite one. I'm trying to stall for time here.
Well, I can remember watching Channel 4 late night, and it wasn't the seedy kind of Channel 4 late night.
Yeah.
It was at the weekend. But it was an anime about 4 brothers who were also dragons, but I can't remember what it was called. Something to do with like a compass, like the dragons of the, I don't know, different winds or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty cool.
And that was the very first anime I ever really watched.
Yeah.
I think it was more. Well, it was a long form cartoon. But the anime which I probably like the most is Full Metal Panic.
Oh, good choice.
Which is very endearing to me.
Yeah.
It does have a special place in my heart. I own it 3 or 4 times because I accidentally bought the French version of the DVD.
How many times did you buy the French one? Okay.
Well, I've bought it in different things because first of all, somebody bought me one of the DVDs, and it's like, well, that's great. Now I own one of the DVDs. Now I've got to go out and buy the rest. And then I found a box set, and I bought it, and then realised it was French, so I had to go and buy it again.
Oh no!
And then I thought, oh, it's come out on Blu-ray. I might as well buy it on Blu-ray. So, yeah. So I own it multiple times. And, you know, they did 2 series of that, and then the other Famofu, I think it's called Famofu series.
I think they're bringing it back.
Yeah, it's about. Well, they should do because it was a great, fun anime.
Yeah.
And it did have some touching points. You know. Oh, that sounds a bit dirty when you talk about anime. It had some bits which made you think. But yeah, on the main part, it was just big robots fighting, and then bizarre school scenes with the characters. And who doesn't like a big mech fighting? I mean,
nobody.
Yeah.
Mate, you're preaching to the choir here.
Well, actually, I do know somebody, but
Whoa. Big metal robots slapping meat. Let's go.
All right, you're
all
getting
for
too
it.
much into it now. There's no meat slapping.
No, what? No, okay, well, big metal...
Mech slapping.
Big metal boys slapping metal.
Fuck! It's not what I say in that situation. Oh, got an achievement! Yay!
So, yeah,
so Jason, what's your experience with anime?
What was out my mouth?
Well, you see. So there was my sister's boyfriend when I was about, I don't know, 11.
When you were a young warthog.
Indeed, I was. He brought stuff. He used to bring stuff around for me to entertain me, keep me busy, and so that was Fist and All Star and some other things. I remember when I was very young. I don't know if this was. I assume it's an anime. It may not have been. So I'll test you on your knowledge to see. Is there one about a vampire possibly fighting Jesus? I remember. I remember my mum coming back.
That sounds a bit DC.
My mum coming back from the video shop with this cartoon for me to watch, keep me entertained as a young child, and she seemed to be unaware that it was about blood sucking well, not anti-Jesus. I think Jesus was just like, I mean, he in fact might have been the hero Jesus. I don't know, or maybe that's just the interpretation that I've put on it in my childish mind. But in my mind, it was a vampire versus Jesus, and I remember very clearly him wandering through a park after having just consumed someone's blood. But that might not be an anime.
What, Jesus or the vampire?
He could be the same guy at this point. I don't know.
Was it set in England?
I don't know. It was.
Did he have a monocle?
I was so young that I don't remember.
Did the vampire have a big red coat?
He might have had a top hat and he could well have had a red coat. I don't know.
Oh my
I can't
god!
mention this.
You were. No, I don't think Hellsing was out then. Unless Hellsing was out then, in which case you watched Hellsing.
Maybe I'll have to look into that and see if I recognise it. There's a lot of things like that from when I'm a kid, which I seem to see things and then never really. And I've sort of talked to people about them since just to try and work out what the hell I was watching.
Yeah.
But in terms of anime, I can't really think of anything. I like the idea. I've watched, when they had the various free channels or whatever they had on, that you could download stuff. I would do bits and pieces.
279.
I'm struggling to think of any titles.
Describe them. Test my knowledge, baby.
I'm struggling to think of anything. I'm struggling to stay alive at the moment. I'm again in Region 3. Another achievement.
The thing is, there's plenty of animes which I've watched, which is like, oh, I'm never going to watch this again. It's a bit pants. The thing is, there's an anime for every single type of person.
Exactly. It's just a description of a type of art form, isn't it? So you can do anything with it.
Yeah.
It's like saying, what's your favourite painting?
I watched a really wild one, which very controversially, Jesus was the villain, and Jesus was the Jesus was just a horrible ruler of this world, and Hitler, after he killed himself, came to this world and decided he was going to do right and challenge Jesus to eternal
What was that
power.
called?
And it's called Drifters, and it's actually really good.
I want to see who greenlit that.
Could that have been the one I watched?
It's got a very similar art style to Hellsing, because it's I think it was drawn by the same person. It was written by the same person that wrote Hellsing, basically, or drawn by the same studio that animated Hellsing. So it looks very similar, but yeah. I mean, it was. I can't lie. It took a while to get past it, but it was a wild anime,
This ramps up in its difficulty, didn't it? This game. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's just increasingly gets more and more difficult.
Oh, I'm playing the night mode.
There's a light mode. Oh, I'm back to the beginning again. Damn it.
Night mode.
When do you unlock night mode?
There's the moon. Sorry?
How do you unlock night mode?
If you back out and then scroll over to the right.
Well, I'm racing the sun because that's what it says.
Yeah.
I'm racing the moon, which is a common anime thing.
Moons don't set necessarily. They do, but not to such the same time.
Speaking of moons, John, did you watch Evangelion?
Oh, mate.
So yes or no?
Did you know that?
You know I own it.
Yeah, I do. I was just trying to make conversation. I was trying to flow into it, but yeah. You know,
because last time you were at my house, you commented about whether that was the limited edition.
Yes.
Re-release in my bookcase, and it was, but I only own 2 parts of it. I don't own. I've never seen the actual final part of it.
Oh, really? Huh.
I do need to buy it. I just haven't got around to it.
No, they
because I got those in Japan, and I've been back to Japan recently.
Sick. They
Anyway, you were saying.
Yeah, what I didn't know was, so you know how in the original run every episode ended with like a cover of "Fly Me to the Moon,"
Fly me to the moon,
or literally every episode ended with a version of "Fly Me to the Moon." I didn't know that some of the versions were the voice actors singing it. Like, I only found that out recently. But then obviously they can't. On the Netflix one, they couldn't get the rights to all the versions of the songs and the big hoo-ha. Because some of the scenes were cut to the song as well. Some of the scenes in the show, and like you hear the background music and it doesn't work because they've lost the ability to sync these scenes up perfectly to the song. I just thought that was insane to like to figure that one, to find out about that, even not figure it out, but to find out, because I wondered where Fly Me to the Moon had gone, and I wondered why I knew this song by this man called Frank Sinatra way before I was probably supposed to.
There's no age limit on Frank.
I mean, that was the anime which broke the mold. That was the one which, like, up until then, every single character had been main character was the hero.
Yeah.
And then they throw in some 13, 14-year-old who isn't a hero in any way, shape or form.
Who has an absolute
who's completely lost
dickhead of a father. Oh
yeah, and it was all about him not succeeding.
Yeah.
And failing quite spectacularly, and being bailed out by other people. And the fear that he went through. And it just brought about a change in anime to say people can be vulnerable. And it's a lot.
Do you know about the behind the scenes of why that happened and stuff?
Which bit?
No, just the series, why it carried on the way it was. The director, I think, or the writer of the series was incredibly depressed at the time. And that's why you get all these scenes and stuff. It was how he actually felt. Which I thought was...
Well, yeah. It's about having the whole weight of the world on your shoulders and basically not being able to cope. Knowing that you're the only person or one of the only people. I mean, at the end of the day, there's only 4 people in the world who can drive those mechs, who can save humanity.
Yeah.
And he's not sure. He's not sure whether he's got the skills to do it. And the mechs are also flawed in every single way. I mean,
every single way. They're copies of angels.
Yeah. I mean,
came here to
which run on power, which runs out.
Yeah. It's run on power, which runs out. You feel everything the mech feels. It's a living being that you are sort of thrust into, and you're put into what can only be described as birthing fluid, isn't it? You're basically put into the womb of this thing, and it's nuts. It's wild. And then there's it deals with a lot. It deals with so much. It's actually a really, really harrowing show when you think about it. I watched it very young.
I can't say that I like all of the things that they changed in the remake.
Oh, what, in the part 1, part 2, 1.1, 2.2, 3.3?
Yeah.
No, I agree with you perfectly. They cut down the length of the elevator scene as well, which I think took away a lot. I mean, obviously...
Jason would have liked that in an elevator scene.
I do like an elevator scene. Gives me a lift.
I don't think... Hey. But yeah, that happened because they started running out of budget at the time, But
yeah, elevator scenes are very good for that. It's like being in the snow.
Yeah. Nah, Jason, this one was painfully long. This was actually you start feeling awkward about the length of this scene.
That sounds like most elevator scenes in real life.
Yeah.
Even the smell.
But I mean, it's surprising that the studio did start to run out of money because it's such a popular anime that you would have thought that somebody would have picked up, somebody would have seen the value in.
Well, I don't think it was popular at the time.
It's a very long anime as well.
What kind of style
don't
was
think
the
it was
remake?
popular at the time. Oh, so the remake condenses all the so there was a big thing where basically it sort of stopped production midway through, and then it got picked up again, and so it has multiple endings.
Okay.
Depending on what choices are made. It's not like a choose your own adventure sort of thing, but there are just different endings for this show basically. So you can watch through the series and you can watch a film at the end, and that gives you a full story. You can watch the shortened ones, which are basically like movies that condense it. They're alright. They add in some new characters and stuff that you don't normally see. and they cut out some things as well.
Does it look the same as so is this a continuous story, or is it started again in the remake?
No. It's all the same.
They just
But they didn't change up the art
basically
style.
they actually wanted to. The remake is actually them trying to finish the story that as it was supposed to be told before the studio ran out of money.
Yeah.
But it is what
30.
Well, I guess it'd be 20 years after it originally came out. I think.
No. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah. About probably 25. I'd say. But yeah, it really did. It's such an interesting one because it did change the whole landscape of like. It moved it away from your character has to be macho, masculine for these shows to be popular. It wasn't like everyone has to be a Goku, or everyone has to be a Ken, you know.
So,
Yeah, and you see its influence in things to this day. Like, it's wild. It's really good. Like, really good. You put time aside to watch it, Jason. I'd say do it when you're in a good place because it is pretty depressing at times.
I nearly got into it. Well, not got into it, but I'd looked into it a few years back, probably over 10 years ago, because someone asked me to do a painting in the style of it once, and I never did the painting, but I did sort of research it for about 2 weeks without actually watching any of it. Or maybe I watched a clip, I don't know. It might have even been before YouTube. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. But yeah, haven't. Sorry, trying to concentrate. Yeah, never actually watched it. Don't know, but I like what you're saying. You're inspiring.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Is there a good place to start, or is that like the beginning, or?
Well, so this is the thing.
Well, no.
If you no,
it does vary.
Start at the
Different
beginning,
things,
obviously. But if you watch it on Netflix, it's completely different voice actors, and some of the things are translated differently that I think take away certain meanings in some Now, the issue with it being is that some of the mistranslation, people argue about it to this day, basically, that some of the stuff was mistranslated, or you either read it as it's mistranslated and it's been given a deeper meaning, or you read it as this is exactly as the director wanted it translated to keep the meaning across languages, because there are sayings and phrases in Japanese that we just don't have.
Oh yeah.
So it's but basically the Netflix version have different voice actors for the dub and for the sub, and Shinji is not as whiny in the new Netflix version as he is in the original one, and
Thank
it's horrible.
God.
I would watch the original one.
I would watch the original one as well.
Okay. Despite the wine.
Despite the wine, because you need the wine, you know? You need the wine.
But it's the way that the character should be portrayed, in the fact that he's completely lost.
Yep.
You know, the world has fallen apart, literally being torn apart. And
was being torn apart, his dad just popped up
do.
into his life going, by the way, I need you to pilot this suit for the sake of humanity. No pressure. But you have to do it. It's insane, it's wild.
Sounds like a thumbs up.
And then the fact that these things are called angels as well. Like, these things that have come to destroy. Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, I would say, I'd recommend if you can find it. I mean, you know, holler at your boy, I can hook you up with some, you know, original sources, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see. I expect a package.
Well, I think that would probably sum up the Evangelion portion. If we're going to split these up.
And next week we'll talk about a different anime.
Yeah.
Right.
And dead. I didn't beat the sun.
Huh?
Well, I mean, I did beat the sun. But, I mean, the sun just kept rising the next day, so...